this is a valuable platform to all of us as South Africans, and indeed there are other people here, to share insights on what is being done and what we can still do to improve this beautiful country that we live in, particularly in relation to improving its position as a global investment destination. This seminar takes place at an important time. A new administration has come into office following the elections that we just held in May, and we are finalizing as we speak what we call the medium-term strategic framework, which is going to outline and define the program that we want to have going forward as a nation, where we will be able to detail government's program in the next 5 years. It is nearly 1 year since we announced the economic stimulus and recovery plan to respond to poor levels of economic growth and slow job creation. And of course, a number of people said, well, this is not a stimulus plan. And we said, yes, but it is a stimulus plan with South African characteristics. We're always very creative. We come up with our own terms and issues. In just over 2 months' time, we will be hosting the second South African Investment Conference, as we work towards achieving our goal of securing 1.2 trillion rand in new investment. While the quarterly growth figures announced yesterday are encouraging, and many of us felt they lifted us, and may suggest the green shoots of recovery in our economy, the reality is that our economy is barely growing to address the challenges that our country faces. And while the economy is creating new jobs, the jobs that are being created are not nearly enough to bring down the overall rate of unemployment. And we faced a high unemployment rate for quite a number of years. It dipped sometime during 2011 and so, but we do need to do much more to increase the level of job creation in our country. We are dealing with the challenges of the past, whilst at the same time working to undo the devastating legacy of our past. And this is all known to all of us. We are hard at work to stimulate growth, to ensure economic stability, and to restore the credibility of state institutions. State institutions that had been weakened over time, they are being rebuilt, being repositioned, and that is an arduous task that takes time. We recognize the urgency with which we need to reform our investment promotion architecture to remove policy, regulatory, and other impediments. And this morning I'd like to hear the remnants of all those impediments that still exist. South Africa at the moment ranks 82nd place amongst 190 economies in the world's Bank Economic Report on Ease of Doing Business Index. While we may not see the results of our efforts immediately, this administration has set itself the ambitious goal of being in the top 50. We have developed a roadmap with short, medium, and long-term goals, and we are actively engaging with a number of role players in our economy. Organized business is being engaged, labor is being engaged, and indeed, including community organizations as well, are also being engaged. And we are doing this so that we can improve the indicators that everybody keeps talking about, like for instance the ease of starting a business, property registration, taxation, and a number of other issues. We will be expanding the one-stop shop approach to ensure potential investors are not shunted from pillar to post between different departments and agencies in search of support and the services that need to be provided by the state. All of us in this room share a common goal to make our country the destination of choice when it comes to doing business. We all want to build an economy that is more equitable and from which all South Africans can benefit. This was never the case in the past. All of us are now committed to this very, very noble objective. In pursuit of this effort, there's been demonstrable progress in the implementation of the Economic Stimulus and Recovery Plan. Reform of our visa regime is ongoing and it is improving on an ongoing basis. A list was recently issued to new countries with tourism growth and potential that will receive visa waivers. We will soon be piloting an e-visa program as part of our immigration modernization drive, where we will be relying more and more on technology. A critical skills list is also being developed and finalized to guide future plans to attract highly skilled immigrants who we would like to welcome to our country. We're taking measures to reduce financial costs of doing business, and we are making sure that these are implemented with a greater speed. And all of these issues have been raised by many of you who are here as a business community. And this gives credence to our ability to be able to work together, to be able to address issues on a collaborative basis. There have also been reductions in port and rail tariffs, and this will continue as we seek to make our ports much more attractive for the entry of goods from other countries. We have moved to clear up uncertainty in the policy space with the finalization, as you all know, with the mining charter and the release of the policy directive for the release of high demand spectrum. Work on a draft oil and gas bill to guide the development of these burgeoning economic sectors is at an advanced stage, and the integrated resource plan, which will deal with our energy architecture, that will outline the trajectory of our energy future, is also close to being finalized. In support of accelerated industrialization, we're refining our industrial policy or strategy. We're refining it so that it can focus more on a number of key growth sectors, including renewable energy, agriculture, as well as oil and gas. I did say in the State of the Nation address in June that we want to strengthen private-public partnerships in infrastructure development. In fact, I did say that the approach of this administration is to ensure that we work hand in hand in a very collaborative way with business across a number of platforms. The construction and the upgrade of roads, schools, dams, hospitals, clinics, and human settlements are key to social upliftment and job creation in our country, and that is where the public sector as well as the private sector needs to be working hand in glove. Furthermore, there is immense investment potential in economic infrastructure like energy plants, transportation, telecoms, and fiber outputs, and all that. And these are areas where they can be close working together. We have set aside, as you all know, 100 billion rand over 10 years for the National Infrastructure Fund. And this is just to ignite and to entice the private sector to participate with us in creating this huge fund that we want to see financing infrastructure built up in our country.